Okay, very good morning to all of you. Good morning, everyone. Okay, are the voice and screen clear? All okay? Hmm? Are the voice and screen clear? Hmm? All clear? Okay, let everyone join. Okay, so can you tell me what was the last point? Hmm? Can you tell me what was the last point? I think it was Carnot cycle, right? We derived work done in all the individual processes. Then we derived the heat for each and every individual process, and then for complete cyclic process we found out the heat. And of course, for a cyclic process, change in internal energy is zero, so total work equal to total heat. That was obvious. Heat input, heat output, sorry, heat into the system, heat coming out of the system, and work done by the system. There is one formula relating all these things. What is that formula? That formula was something like this. So whatever your system is there, some amount of heat comes into the system, some amount of heat goes out of the system, and remaining amount of heat will be converted into work. That work is positive, so that work is done on the surrounding, that is expansion, so arrow going out. So this is how you can indicate the Carnot cycle. Okay, actually basically this system is nothing but heat engines. That system is called as heat engine, and there we wrote such formulae. There we wrote such formulae like efficiency is output upon input. Efficiency is output upon input. Efficiency is output upon input. What is the output there? This is the work done, which is output. What is the input there? Input is nothing but heat input Q1. Now it has always been found that for a reversible cyclic process, it is not possible for us to convert entire heat into work. To convert entire heat into work, some amount of heat is definitely wasted. So that is some limitation on the conversion of heat into the work, which is given by the nature itself. This is not possible for us. Fine. So it means that efficiency of this Carnot cycle is going to be less than 1. Okay. Though it is maximum efficiency, but it is still less than 1. Ideally, we should get efficiency equal to 1, but that is the ideal case. Now, the most efficient cycle is the most efficient cycle for heat engine. Most efficient cycle for the heat engine is the Carnot cycle. Now, what is the heat engine? Heat engine is that system. Heat engine is that system which absorbs heat and converts that heat into useful work, and remaining amount of it is wasted or given to the sink. Now what is sink? We will discuss. So efficiency formula was something like this, but also we have this relation energy conservation. Q1 is equal to numerical value of Q1 is equal to numerical value of W plus numerical value of Q2. This Q1 is utilized in two ways. Some amount of heat will be converted into W and remaining will be wasted. Fine. So with that you can replace W. With that you can replace W. W is Q1 minus Q2, sir. Fine. So therefore now efficiency formula becomes W upon Q1, but W is Q1 minus Q2. Heat in minus heat out. That subtraction must be equal to remaining amount of heat that is converted into the work divided by heat input, that is Q1. Formula becomes 1 minus Q2 upon Q1. Now for Carnot cycle, if you check the formulae of Q2 and Q1, you will observe that this Q2 upon Q1 division will come out to be equal to T2 upon T1. Just by observing the formula of Q2 and Q1, you can just divide those two formula and you will observe that it comes out to be equal to T2 upon T1. Therefore, efficiency of Carnot cycle can also be written as, instead of Q2 upon Q1, you can write T2 upon T1. This we have already done yesterday. You just write down it again. You just write it down again. Okay. Fine. So up to this, I think we have done, and we have also did one more thing, that how to find out percentage efficiency. This is just a fractional efficiency. What is the percentage efficiency? Sir, percentage efficiency is fractional efficiency 1 minus T2 upon T1 multiplied by 100, multiplied by 100. That will give you percentage efficiency. Of course, that is always going to be less than 100%. Okay, sir, fine. For efficiency to be equal to 100%, either this T2 should be equal to 0 or T1 should be equal to infinity. Both are impossible. So efficiency you cannot just get to be equal to 1. Ideally it can be equal to 1, but in practice, in reality, there are some limitations. Okay, there are some limitations. You just, ideally we want it to be equal to 1, but in reality we just cannot get it to be equal to 1. Okay, and there are some practical limitations. Okay, these limitations are governed by the second law of thermodynamics. Fine. You just write this down. Okay, sir, fine. Then let's move on to the next point. Now write down the heading as heat engine. Write down the heading as heat engine. Okay, heat engine. A system which converts, absorbs heat and converts it into useful work is called short form H dot E dot, or simply HE, is called as heat engine. Okay, now schematic diagram. Let's say this is our system. Let's say right now this is heat engine. Now heat engine absorbs some amount of heat from a substance which is at some higher temperature, let's say T1. The higher temperature substance is called as source, of heat. From the source of heat, which is at higher temperature T1, your system, your heat engine or device, your device is going to absorb some amount of heat, and out of that absorbed heat, some amount of heat will be converted into the useful work, and remaining amount of heat will be wasted and given to the second substance called as sink, which is at low temperature T2, So this is the schematic diagram of heat engine. Heat engine absorbs the heat from the higher temperature substance, which is called as a source, converts that heat into some amount of heat is converted into the work, and remaining amount of it is wasted and is given to the sink. Sink is a substance to whom the system gives its heat. Okay, and the sink of course is at lower temperature, so